Good morning everybody, Calm Biker here. Behind Graham, who just filled up with petrol in the last video I recorded. Might have been the last one I put out, but the last one I recorded, we were on the way to the petrol station. Now we're on our way to our destination. I mentioned in the last video I recorded that I was changing around the intros and things, and that I'd been tinkering around, changing all the software I've been using. I think that's mainly because since my last ride previous to that, which was a long time ago, probably 6 or 7 weeks ago, which frankly I need chastising for. It's appalling to be off a bike that long, but work got in the way and weather got in the way. It has rained here. By heck, it's rained. You won't see it if I have put out one in between this one and the last one I recorded on the way to the petrol station. You'll think, why was it so sunny and clearly warm? But it's been really cold and really rainy since, and kind of just kept me off the bike really, and I've used that time to do all that software changing around. The level of rain we've had has been somewhat biblical, but carrying on the theme from the last video, we live in a bit of an odd country. So here in Yorkshire, currently in East Yorkshire, we are officially in a drought. I mean, it's hardly Africa level of drought, but we are officially in a drought, and the water company, Yorkshire Water, has therefore brought in emergency conditions, and we're not allowed to use hose pipes. In that same 6 weeks I've been building a concrete base for a shed that I'm going to put up. The shed is in my garage. It's stopping me making garage videos as well, which is why my videos have been certainly few and far between. Big metal shed to erect, but I thought I'd put it on a concrete base, make it as permanent as I can. Make it, our wooden one lasted nearly 20 years, so I think we've done alright. Hey, that one's £1.50. This area just has cheap fuel. How strange. But yeah, so the Yorkshire Water put this hose pipe ban on. I've been building this concrete base without the use of a hose pipe, and then after I built it I've been mixing the whole thing, using a watering can to fetch water. Probably uses more water than a hose wood with spillage and things. We're using a hose pipe to mix the water and mixing the concrete in a wheelbarrow. I really should have hired a concrete mixer, because I've mixed probably a ton of the stuff. It's 10 feet by 8 feet concrete base, about 6 inches thick, so it's a fair whack. But yeah, it turns out I could have used a hose pipe for mixing. I can't use it for kind of washing down afterwards, but I can use it for mixing. But I didn't, because I'm an idiot who didn't look it up first. Well, we've had this hose pipe ban since August, and it's now December the 2nd. So it's been over 3 months, over a quarter of a year, we've had a hose pipe ban. Due to the impressive way this country works, England and Wales are the only 2 countries in the world. Northern Ireland, Scotland, also part of the UK, don't do this, but England and Wales are the only 2 countries in the world where the water supply is entirely privatised, so supplied by companies, and not by the government or local authorities or anything like that. Wales has it better than England, I think. Not perfect. For anybody in Wales, I know your water supply is not perfect, but they have it better than England because there's only one water company in Wales, and it's run not for profit, which means the water is cheaper in Wales. I'm told is better quality. It's hard to think how it could be worse. We have a habit in England of allowing our water to, our raw sewage to be pumped into the sea and into our rivers. Obviously we're not drinking the seawater yet, but people are swimming in it and coming out looking somewhat browner than when they went in. But yeah, it's run not for profit, so they do okay. The ones in England are run for profit, and they give billions to the shareholders every year. Not each. If they did, I'd probably get some shares. But yeah, run for profit, run for the shareholders. Now, some might argue, if you don't understand how the system works, that, well, the idea of privatisation happened in 1989, so, you know, 30 odd years ago. The idea is to get the prices down and to become more efficient, which I've never quite understood, how you can make a profit as well as keep everything as good. Surely people who aren't working for a company can still keep everything as good in the delivery systems and the quality cheaper when there's no profit motive. But I guess we lack imagination in our governments. But yeah, the idea of privatisation generally is to introduce competition, and competition is supposed to bring down prices. But we, unlike with gas and electricity, which at the minute are appallingly expensive, we're paying the best part of £300 a month for our gas and electricity now, which is just insane, I think, compared to a few years ago where we were paying £80 a month. And there's no competition in that, because every gas and electric company is charging exactly the same amount of money at the moment, because there's a hard limit they're allowed to charge you, and the rest is still getting paid to them through our taxes. But unlike those where there was supposed to be competition, the water suppliers never was. They allowed people to bid to take over water supplies in various areas. Can't remember how many areas there are, probably 10 or a dozen. Say this one is the Yorkshire water area. And once they got that, I don't think any of them have changed really. So it's just Yorkshire Water supplies the water around here. You have no choice in the matter. There is no competition. And what that's led to is a situation where it's been hammering down with rain for so long, and we've got a hosepipe ban, and somewhat that is because Yorkshire Water has closed reservoirs since they got the contract to run the water system. But the population has carried on growing at a pace, so there's less stored water for a bigger population, and they have not built any new reservoirs, so there's no additional capacity. And in addition to that, about a third of the water that they supply, a third of the water they push down a pipe, actually leaks. Well, what I wanted to do today is to bring the drone out, because I was intrigued by something that I've seen the other day whilst out with Graham, and I want to get the drone up above it because I want to see the extent of it. And it's not leakage, but it is water, and it is this weird thing that we now have concurrently a hosepipe ban and flooding. There were masses of flood warnings around this area the other day, and in some areas it actually happened. So we're heading to a place called Bubwith, where there's a closed bridge. It's closed because it looks like somebody's driven into it and smashed the side of it, but it does mean that it's a really good place to stand above the Derwent River, which is normally quite a slow, small river. It's a trickle really. It's not a Humber size river by any means. It's a tiny little river normally, but with the amount of rain we've had, it's broken its banks and flooded quite a large area. I just wanted to have a look with the drone, so I'm going to head there. I'll shut up now until I get there. We'll get the drone up, we'll have a look at just how much water we've got that we can't use. Looks like they're here repairing the bridge. Here we are in the paddy fields of Yorkshire. Well, got the drone up over it. I flew the drone out quite some distance. There's a lot of water out there that shouldn't normally be there. Graham was talking to one of the chaps over there who works for the water company. He was actually telling us the reservoirs are full. So Graham asked him why we still got a hosepipe ban, and apparently they're just very slow. Nice to get the gloves back on and get moving again, get them heated grips on though. It's only 4 degrees at the minute, 4 degrees C. Not sure what that is in F, so get these grips on, warm my hands up a little bit after flying the drone with no gloves on. And I think I'll wrap this one up. So thank you for watching everyone. Ride safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon.